And on the stream, there's going to be a little funniness happening regarding the people circles because we have a new member in the cast that I have not accounted for yet, which will be Meridia. And once I get that accounted for, the circles will be in the right spot, but for right now, we're just going to pretend the circles are doing what they're supposed to, and then Sin will yell at me, and she'll say, you should use the right overlay, Casey, and I'll be like, I don't want to, I'm a rebel. So we'll switch to Tavern Talk for a minute here. Good Lord, there's a lot of us. We don't even fit in Tavern Talk.
Oh no.
I'm going to get in so much trouble here. She's going to have my license. Okay.
I mean, it's fewer of us than the normal party.
That's true. All right, okay, there we go. So now we're fitting in the Tavern Talk, and the circles are there, and all looks good. So, we are playing with the Tyranny of Dragons crew, the so-called Sovereign Seven, who are a group of orphans from a town called Greenest, who have been on a whirlwind adventure and fought a dragon, fought some ogres, defeated some ogres, defeated some cultists, dealt with some kobolds, made their way up and down the coast, hijinks and mishaps along the way, culminating in the crashing of a large castle from the sky to the ground after defeating a white dragon. Now, at that point, the whole of society was like, hey, who did that? And society was like, oh, check it out. It was some orphans. They weren't expecting that. So.
They never do.
They just,
they never expect the orphans.
It's a little strange how that goes. But, society recovered. It was like, hey, we should probably take advantage of these babes in the wood, as it were. So, the various factions plied their wiles upon you and ended up coming up with, hey, we've got some favors and some things that we'd like you to do for us. And some of you were like, sure, we'll do that as long as you do us some favors and nice things. One of that arrangements was the fetching of 3 weapons that had been stolen, Wave, Whelm, and Black Razor, and ferreted away in White Plume Mountain. The group has successfully retrieved those weapons and is returning them to Mithril Hall. Shortly after, they plan on traveling to the east to investigate portents that direct them to the White Plume... not White Plume Mountain. The oasis that has some indication as to the whereabouts of Valandra's mother and the Red Wizard, who is holding her captive, in bondage, enslaved, agreement. That's a little bit vague at the moment. Along the way, a couple of the 7 have split off to run other errands, and the group acquired a new friend, Mord, a dwarf, who was instrumental in assisting them in retrieving the 3 relics. Very soon, we're going to have a new party member adding, Meridia, and I'm not sure how yet. So,
It's a surprise.
Now we come into the question and answer part of this session. At the moment, the party is traveling, so let's kick back over to the screen where we can see a map here. And you guys can see the map, the big map?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So you guys are in and around the area of White Plume Mountain. White Plume Mountain is up here. And you have traveled to the town of Oakhurst. And shortly, you'll be heading from Oakhurst over to Mithril Hall. And then from Mithril Hall, you can either go straight across into the desert, or you could take the long way down and around to come out via the Black Road. You know, there's some very well-populated cities over here, Silvermoon and Citadel Felbar, but you also know that these mountain ranges are said to be quite dangerous. So, new person, Meridia. Tell me a little bit about your character, and we'll start thinking of ways to fit you into this storyline.
Well, she's half-elf, and her dad died a while ago, and had gotten the favor of... Thomas, help me out here. What was the guy?
One of the Archfey, I believe.
Okay.
Right. So he died when he was out adventuring, and on a whim they kind of decided that they were going to help out Meridia because they wanted to see what he was doing kind of continue. So they bestowed some power upon her. But she was not really that into that kind of thing. Like, she was into staying at home, running her little flower shop, and is like super bubbly and cheerful and liked to help people out and kind of be a little bit of a counselor for people when they came in to her shop.
Sounds good. And I seem to remember having talked with you a little bit that maybe one of the people who frequents your shop is a bit of a gadabout, a bit of a talker named Leosin, who is also one of the Harpers, and seems to get you involved in some of the strangest little misadventures.
Okay, what's a Harper?
A Harper is the group of good folk that work together in a sort of disorganized network of do-gooders throughout the land. So, kind of the Robin Hood sort of people tend to fall in with Harpers. They're not super worried about the rules, but they generally do good. That sort of thing. So, maybe somebody shows up with a broken arm, and they're like, oh, could you help me out? This guy over here was beating me up. And somehow that turns into, you've been away from town for 3 weeks dealing with a horde of bugbear.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like something that she would get involved in.
You got it. It's
She's
like...
big on helping.
Good.
She's big on helping people, so that would make sense.
Sounds good. All right. Now, a little bit mechanics-wise question about your character. So, you are a follower of the Archfey, which would land you in the Warlock range. What sort of powers are you good at or most comfortable with, generally?
This is literally my first exposure to D&D.
Sure.
So...
I can answer this a bit. I helped her build her character.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of warlock abilities, one of her main things is she's Pact of the Chain, and so she has a what was it, a pseudo dragon familiar?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a little familiar club going on.
And is good with animals. Can has a very strong bond with said familiar in terms of one of the invocations. And let's see. She can see. She has X-ray vision at times. And her spells are kind of a hodgepodge, as is appropriate for powers bestowed by the Archfey, I guess.
Okay. So, still sort of hasn't decided that you're an adventurer type, just sort of get roped into things as they go along. So, where I'm going to go with this one to do a little bit of tying in is the Red Wizards of Thay, and we're going to go off a little bit onto, lore dump time here. The Red Wizards of Thay are a group of powerful mages and necromancers that control the city-state of Thay. They're led by a lich. Sistam, I believe is the name of the lich there. And not everybody is super happy about this. Not everybody looks forward to being undead. It's just not the retirement options certain people go for. So, there are a few factions opposing the Lich and his rulership, which has gone on for quite a long time. So, the party has already met one such rebel. And that rebel, Wrath Modan, has caused a bit of trouble, seems to be the one enslaving Valandra's mother, and has a book, or at least the important bits of the book, detailing spells and rituals that can summon Tiamat back from the lower planes. That's bad. Other factions within the Red Wizards, however, are looking for some help. They would like to weaken the rule of Sistam and basically cause some trouble. Leosin, I think, may have put you in touch, Meridia, with one such representative. And you've been given some information and asked to gather a party to assist you. Or maybe to guide the party. We'll figure that part out in a little bit here. Now, the entrance to the area where the Thayan hideout can be found is actually scattered all across the land. It's a number of portals that you would get drawn through or drawn into. You know the location of one such place, and it is the Oasis of the White Palm, where Leosin says, hey, somebody just recently mentioned that to me. Let me try and remember who that was. Oh, yes. It was my good friend, who I love dearly, Valandra. And he smiles and giggles a little bit as he tells you this, and he sort of gossips it along. You should probably, check that one out, Meridia. And as he's doing so, he's just laying a few gold and platinum on the desk, and he eventually buys out your whole store so that you're pretty much going to be out of stock of flowers for at least another season. And he's like, I have to buy these for Omthar. I mean, he needs flowers. So Leosin buys out your store, gives you a, hey, you probably should talk to this Valandra person. I think she hangs out with Telaise. And she describes, kind of a blue motif to look for. And he's like, oh yeah, of course. You just also look for the Mousefolk and the Catfolk. Pretty much anytime you see a mouse and a cat together, hanging out, talking, walking around on legs, you're probably looking at this group.
They're an odd group, I guess.
It's a little bit of a signature style for you guys, really. So, with that all presented, Leosin gives you sort of a, I bet if you swing by Mithril Hall, you could catch up to him. And I'm going to say you probably live somewhere in the Tribor, Yartar area, somewhere down around here. And so that as you travel up the river and make your way to Mithril Hall, you end up arriving just about the same time that the party's wrapping up. And bringing with you, you have the introduction from Leosin to say, hey, I know Leosin, you know Leosin. I know something about the White Palm. You know something about the White Palm. Maybe we should work together. Does that seem fairly reasonable to everybody?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And are there any details that anybody would like to add in or tie in to make that more or less interesting? So things I know so far about Meridia, flower shop owner, has dealt with people who have been injured passing through a couple of times, probably lives in that like Tribor Yartar area. And would anybody like to have wandered through there, maybe have seen each other at some point? Or should we leave it as fresh-faced and new?
Well, didn't we come up that way?
You actually...
We did.
No, we came up the high road.
No, you came up the high road here.
Oh, okay.
And actually, you stopped right about here at the Mirror of Dead Men. Now, Meridia has, it sounds like, been dragged off on a couple of adventures. So, maybe you guys saw each other in Waterdeep in passing. Maybe Meridia has seen the wanted posters for the Great Moustachio. So,
a mouse who looks suspiciously like Waverly, but has a very fabulous mustache.
yes, and obviously, the guard captain, on a careful comparison, realized that the mustache was missing, and Waverly was set free.
Cannot possibly be the same mouse.
It's completely impossible. So, anything? Feel free to make up anything you want here. If you think it's interesting or funny or tragic or dramatic, now's the time to throw it in.
I don't know, I think any point in time that they may have run into each other, Dawn wasn't melted yet.
That's true.
So,
That's true. We'll get into the physical descriptions in just a moment, because that's a good point.
but he's gonna go for the ring, so that might change again. But currently, kinda, yeah.
All right. So, we'll just go with the meetup there. Now, in Mithril Hall, the party has just recently turned in Wave, Whelm, and Black Razor. And they've been given access to the treasure hall. A select number of items are pulled forth and offered to the party to be selected from as rewards for their recent heroics. The smiths have offered to craft for them 1 suit of armor and 1 item, each of the first tier of magic. Or they can select from these other, a bit rarer, a bit more unique items, which include various cloaks, some bracers and gloves, a few rings, a set of beer goggles.
And a blanket, right?
And a blanket.
And the most useless blanket ever.
Blanket, yeah.
It is a great blanket.
I'm sure it's very warm.
Children would kill for this blanket.
I would hope not.
Don't kill for a blanket.
I mean, you guys are not good. Like, right now, Glumfellow is turning over a grave. Won't kill for a blanket. What kind of children did I raise? So, Mithril Hall, huge dwarven settlement, dug into a mountain following mithril veins. The entrance, a smaller town. It's been decimated a few times in war and rebuilt, so you can see old foundation, new foundation, old foundation, house, burnt, new foundation again. Everything's a little higher than it should be. The roads are kind of down, the foundations are kind of up. But eventually you get up to the mountain entrance. Guides meet you there. You're led through a maze of tunnels.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There were a couple things that we were going to do before we got to
Sure.
Mithril Hall.
Hit me up.
So, one, we were going to cast Speak with Dead in a zone of truth on a certain head that we are carrying.
Mm-hmm. Sure. That's normal.
Yep.
Priorities.
And I just mention it now because I think the spell couldn't be used by the time we get to Mithril Hall, so...
Sure. So somewhere out on the road, It seems appropriate, so I'm going to say you probably did this in the first day or two while you were actually traveling through Barovia. Because where else would you do this sort of thing? You plunk the head down, you cast your Zone of Truth.
Yep.
And you now have a talking Oni head.
Okay.
So, one quick thing.
Yep.
Because I can't think of them. Okay? I am not as skilled. The stream of 100% honest curses and defamations of character laid on all of you by this Oni for the first few moments, stunning.
Yeah. We know. Right back at you.
So, once that sort of peters out, what would you like to know?
Who's going first?
I mean, Valandra can fill up all the questions, so if other people have questions, they should go first.
Telaise only has one question.
Okay.
She takes out the necklace that she recovered from the Oni's mangled and pulped up body, and holds it where the head can definitely see, and goes, "What about this is so important?"
It's about you, so nothing.
Her voice got a little weird, having lost the neck.
Now there is a zone of truth, so she can't lie.
I'm gonna say that's probably true to her.
It didn't seem to be, like, it seemed to be important when she was using it to make a deal with the Red Wizard in order to fight against us.
Yeah, so she can't really joke that it's not important.
It is no longer important to her.
I believe the spell specifies that she answers as if she would have in life, and can't actually comprehend the fact that she's dead.
It's still no longer important to her. She got the use out of it that she wanted. It was a bargaining chip with the Red Wizard, and that chip has been cashed in. And now she has been cashed out.
Well, now you can ask why it was a bargaining chip. 5 questions, right?
5 questions, yeah.
Do you have other questions that you need to cover?
A couple, yeah. But
Go. I'll wait and ask a clarifying question if we don't get what we need out of this.
okay, just a moment. Yeah, so Valandra will ask, what do you know about my mother?
She starts spouting everything that she knows about Genie, which is expansive. After a few minutes, you realize she's going to be going on for a long time, pretty uselessly.
About a specific person?
You just said, what do you know about my mother? She's now telling everything she knows about your mother, starting with what she had for breakfast 2 days ago. You're going to have to get these questions a lot tighter.
What do the Red Wizards plan to do with her?
Oh, they're gonna keep her bound as a slave, have her grant wishes until she wastes away. Drain her of her power? She's little more than a giant font of energy. That's what you get for breaking a contract.
Oh.
Ask about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Telaise, you might not get your clarifying question.
Ask about it. You're more important.
I know. I and she are just trying to figure out how to word this. Oh. Do I ask about the contract or how she broke it?
It really depends, because if you ask how she broke it, it would give us a clue to what the contract is.
It's true. How and why did she break her contract?
That's 2 questions, and you know it. We'll let it go.
There's only 1 question mark.
It's true.
She starts laughing. You.
Okay, that's not a how.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
No, it is not.
It's not. That's
How?
not, Casey.
Really?
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
I know you're trying to screw us over with this, Casey.
No, so here you go.
But that is not a how.
So she. Okay. I mean, she had could be added to the front of that, but the answer is you in both cases, looking directly at Valandra. The how and the why.
So somehow having a child was a breach of contract. Where is she being held?
In the stronghold of the Red Wizards. The access is through the Oasis.
And that's about as honest as she can get, because she would not know the location, just the entrance.
All right. Well, I believe at that point the semblance of life drains from her head again.
Oh, she keeps a little more abuse upon you while she can, but eventually it does fade away.
And then I believe the only other thing that we had planned was we were going to take a look at that locket that was recovered and see if we can figure anything out about the Oasis with 2 lockets to
compare them to. Yeah.
Sure. The lockets are dramatically different. All the lockets are very different. However, Telaise and Valandra's bear some imagery in common. I think you all shared the lockets with each other at one point, and there do appear to be features in common for some of the lockets that do not appear in the others. Telaise and Valandra's feature more commonalities, as would Dawn and Dusk's, as would Chloe and Joey. Waverly's seems to have things in common with all of them. But there aren't as many moments in common or motifs in common between, say, Telaise and Chloe. Just to pick 2 out of a hat.
Is there anything we can see specifically, like comparing the 2? Is there anything we can see specifically about the scenes surrounding?
Sure. So comparing the 2, the imagery that you have now identified to represent Valandra's mother appears to be present on both lockets. The imagery of the red wizards appear to be on both lockets. The imagery for the oasis itself seems to be primarily on Valandra's locket. Telaise is more of a wavy, true water or true ocean motif than the sand dune look that seems to be indicating the oasis. And that's about as far as you can suss out. Everything is both very detailed and very vague in these lockets. Once you sort of understand what you're looking for, you can focus on it, but without knowing what you're looking for, it's like those 3D puzzles where you got to cross your eyes to see the image. You just can't get them crossed quite right.
All right. I think that was everything I had before we got to Mithril Hall.
Sounds good.
And we have a head burning party.
Yeah, okay. And so you have a head burning party again. Very appropriate in Barovia, despite the festivities going on all throughout the Grey Land.
Does anyone have a celebratory drink?
Drink's very scarce in this particular area, so I hope you brought it with you. All right.
Just water then. That's disappointing.
I know a half-orc that agrees with you heartily. But that'll get you back on the road. You are a well-equipped party with a mission and a lot of weaponry. So the little incidents that happen along the way, almost not worth talking about. In Mithril Hall, you turn in the items, you receive your bounty, and one of the custodians comes over and says, there's a young lady here asking after y'all. Should I show her in? Says her name's Meridia, and she's a friend of Leosin's.
Yes, please.
And so as the...
I mean, Valandra will clap happily when he mentions Leosin and look kind of excited, but...
Sure. So, you are introduced to each other in the secure portion of the facility where items have been laid out. There's a number of dwarven guards about, both the stocky we will chop you in half type, as well as the more stocky, they're all stocky, who knows, wizardy we will blast you type. This is not a place to be messing around. But it's a really nice place to go shopping. So, Meridia, would you please let us know what you look like?
She's got pretty long blonde hair and has kind of like tealy blue eyes. Doesn't look like she's been doing a lot of adventuring. You know, she's not like built or anything, kind of average weight. Definitely probably still, like, she's done a little bit of adventuring, so she's not totally a noob, obviously, but still would be kind of maybe a little bit nervous about, you know, a bunch of adventuring types, not totally in her element.
Makes sense. And so we're going to start from, I'm going to say most normal looking to least normal looking here. So I'm going to start with Mord at the moment because we're in a dwarven area.
Most normal.
So here's we're going to
absolutely.
We're in a dwarven area. Okay, we're in a dwarven area and you're a dwarf. So let's start with Mord. Mord, what do you look like?
Mord is a pretty stereotypical looking dwarf for the most part. He's looking particularly rough. You see that his eyes are really, there's a lot of bags and dark circles around his eyes. Looks like he hasn't been sleeping terribly well. But he has a mess of orange hair, just completely unkempt. There's still some blood stains on his face, and you see in his hand he's holding a blindfold, which you have no idea why he's holding it, but there it is. But otherwise, he's about 4'8", middle-aged, maybe a little bit older looking, and is wearing some light leathers for armor.
All right. So now I'm going to say probably the next step down or up on our normal ladder is going to be Telaise. Telaise, what do you...
I'm interested to see the three after that.
Yeah, it's getting harder as we go here.
I'm so excited for the next
Yeah, right. I'm really interested.
So Telaise, as you have the normal complement and skin tone of fingers, toes, eyes, nose, etc., what do you look like?
So she is also a half-elf, which they probably recognize that about each other very quickly, because usually elves and humans mistake half-elves for the opposite of what they are. But she's like, that is absolutely a half-elf. She is decently tall and well fit in all the right places. Very pale skin, and her hair is very long, and that deep blue-black kind of hair that when the light hits it just right, it does look like there's blue in it somehow. She has these large sapphire blue eyes. Very, very pretty. Like, turn, head, stop, traffic kind of pretty. Like, you could throw mud all over her and people would still be like, there is a very pretty person underneath there.
Fair. Now, I do know one thing that I like to point out because it upsets her. Telaise is wearing a matching set of beautiful armor and really ugly boots right now.
Yes.
Her entire outfit looks custom made leather. It's all been dyed in varying shades of blue. Like her shirt matches her eyes, and then these hideous like normal shoes, just brown shoes.
You actually notice that they look very similar to Mord's.
Only slightly daintier.
They are not the best of footwear. So now
Mord's and Valandra's.
I'm gonna go with Valandra here as the next one.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
Okay.
I was wondering.
So Valandra, would you please describe yourself?
All right. So I don't know if Meridia would have ever seen Genasi before, but Valandra is humanoid, about 5 feet tall. Obviously a young girl. Has blue skin, and very noticeably blue hair that kind of floats and waves as if it's underwater. Her skin has it kind of looks like she just got out of a bath or a shower, like she's just wet. Just has moisture all over visible on her. She has somewhat like over large blue black eyes, and she smells of fresh rain.
She does. Now,
and she's dressed in shining, magnificent plate armor, and carries a mace and a holy symbol around her neck.
Sure does. And that magnificent plate armor just screams Mithril Hall make. Like, looking around, it's like, oh, look, there's the emblem. There's the emblem. Branding. So, Valandra does appear to be well equipped.
There's a little made in China at the corner now.
It's actually Dithril Hall.
Dithril Hall? Oh, no. So
no.
close.
Knockoff armor.
So, along with that, so the next on my list here, I'm going to pick on Waverly.
Yep.
Because Waverly doesn't look like anything tragic happened. So Waverly, what do you look like?
Well, Waverly is a Mousefolk. She stands about 2 feet tall. She looks very much like a big chubby mouse standing on 2 legs.
Mm-hmm.
She has lovely, soft blondish fur and big dark eyes and a little tuft of white over her left eye. She wears leather. She has a rapier at her side and a bow on her, a very small bow on her back. If you know anything about Mousefolk, she does look like an adult. Although an adult for Mousefolk is like 5 years old, so...
Yeah, there's not a lot of adolescence to the Mousefolk race.
No,
Like,
she is 6. She is 6 years old, but that's an adult.
Sneeze and you miss it. Though...
She somehow went from Valandra's little sister to her older sister.
She did.
It's
At one
in the course of like 2 years.
Yep.
It was a magical summer.
I grew up fast. What can I say?
Yeah. You know what they say?
Right now, she probably has some goggles sitting on her head.
Fancy
She
goggles.
also has something else on her head, as I recall.
No, the tiara came off.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
In favor of the goggles.
Yes.
Gotcha.
We can't wear the tiara and the goggles. The goggles are a little more important, but for a little while.
Maybe like affix the tiara to the goggles.
Maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would think that Waverly would take the you can't wear both as a challenge, honestly.
Well, it's just for the moment. She doesn't want to stand out all the time. She does, however, have a ring that she picked up some time ago. Is a big gold ring. It looked like it was probably a finger ring for someone a lot bigger than her. She's wearing it on her tail.
Sounds solid. Now, Waverly, I will let you know if you do want to Elton John out those goggles, I am 100% in support of that.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
Start collecting jewels to put around the... Yes.
There you go.
I like that idea.
So, for reasons...
She's also very firmly got her hands in her pockets so that she is not tempted.
I was going to say, that's unusual to be in your pockets.
Yes.
So, the bottom...
Yes, for now anyway.
The bottom rung of our normalcy ladder. Dawn.
At the moment.
Dawn, would you be so kind as to explain what you look like currently?
In an hour or two, he might jump up a couple rungs, but
I think it's at least a day or two. But currently, Dawn is a Tabaxi, so he is a cat. And he really only stands like a couple... He's smallish. He's only like 2 inches taller than Valandra, I think. And he's dressed... Like, recently he's gotten some new clothes. They're kind of old-fashioned, very pseudo-Victorian, Gothic-y, edgelord-looking clothes. And like with the frilled sleeves and such, but he is like the Tabaxi version of Freddy Krueger right now. Like, the vast majority of his fur is gone. Like, they're like little sad orange tufts, like here and there. His ears, like the edges of his ears, look like they've been burned away, so they're more round looking than like the big pointy cat ears. He has repeatedly been set on fire, got like covered in acid. He it's really hard now to tell how old he is, but he's actually not very old at all. He's only 16, but he kind of looks like he's been to hell and back many times. But he is he has a presence to him. Like, he has enough pride that he doesn't entirely try to hide all these scars. Like, he's very vain. He wants this to go away because he knows that, like, looking like a flesh golem is going to cause him troubles eventually. But
and he's recently acquainted with what a flesh golem looks like.
So he knows for sure, like, they are of a kind currently. But he has a cloak, but currently he has the hood down, and like he has a presence to himself. Like, there's a lot of intensity to him, as opposed to like Telaise, who is very beautiful and has that kind of draw to people. He has a more intense and prideful look to him, despite his current lack of fur and prettiness.
Who needs fur? So, I think that gives us a pretty good look into the roster. And we kind of know where you guys are going to be going, which is going to be out to the east, to the Oasis. And once in the Oasis, out of character planning wise, you guys are going to be heading into a portion of the Dead in Thay module, which is also known as the Doom Vault. So, as you might tell by the glee in my voice when I say that, there is some danger to be had. I do want to let you know on an out-of-character style, though, the Doom Vault itself has a puzzle nature to it on top of the adventures and the fighting. And we're kind of going to be doing the puzzle version as a walkthrough, because I don't think the puzzle version will translate real well into our 2 to 3 hour sessions that we do. There'll be just too much time sitting there going, what the heck am I trying to say? So, when we get to those, Meridia is going to be kind of your key, because Meridia has been instilled with certain knowledges that will become available to her when certain events happen by Leosin and the Red Wizard S, who will be presented once you guys are a little bit into it. Now, the plan that I have is we'll be running this as a weekly campaign. We'll be doing it on Thursday nights, and our normal time is from 7 Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern. But I'm not sure if we might be able to stretch that out a little bit to get to a 3-hour session based on who all's here, or were we bumping into bedtimes and other such requirements for people still? So, Meridia, we'll start with you. Thursdays, 7 to 9, 7 to 10, 7 to midnight, 11 to 20. What works for you?
Well, I gotta work.
Mm-hmm.
I work third shift, so by 9:30 Eastern, I gotta start getting ready for that.
Okay. So 7 to 9 works for you. Maybe 7 to 9:15 on a running late night, but we know you got a dart. Everybody else?
Yeah, I mean, if it goes fully up to 9:30, then that's fine. I just gotta leave right then.
Sure. So we'll aim at starting the wrap up at 9 o'clock, and with a drop dead time of 9:30 that Meridia may need to scoot. Anybody else have a time restriction either that we need to start later or end earlier than 7 to 9:30?
Nope.
No, I remembered to book Thursdays off at work, so we're good.
Cool. And probably what we'll end up doing is 9:30 we'll wrap the adventure. 9 to 9:30 we'll wrap the adventure. We'll do a little chatting and cleanup afterwards, as we tend to do. We did recently award experience. Everybody should have had their level ups. I believe everybody is level 8 at this point.
Yes, I need to roll
Yes.
HP.
Okay. Some HP has been rolled. Ooh, some more HP has been rolled. That's a respectable number. And those characters have been set up. Now, what I'd kind of like to do as a way to pass a little bit of time and also introduce folks to each other, work out some kinks in the system, that sort of stuff, is have you guys do a little bit of sparring in and amongst yourselves. Friendly sparring, no damage will be permanent, nothing like that. And you don't really need to worry about killing one another. just to kind of step through combat so that you guys can see the combat flow and maybe run off one or two of your new spells that you haven't had a chance to try out yet. So, let's drag a random battle mat over here, which I just did, and then I lost it. There we go, random battle mat.
So are we training exercise, or are we
Training exercise.
So training exercise out of character, so this isn't actually happening?
In character training exercise.
Okay.
In character training exercises. So, what we're
in
saying...
character in canon, is that what you're asking?
In character in canon. That's happening in the real game.
I hope this counts as includes our level up, because I already did that.
Yes, it includes your level up.
Okay, good.
And basically what I'm figuring is some point on the way east, you guys are going to want to work together a little bit and lay out some basic, okay, hey, what do you do, since we now have Mord and Meridia adding to the mix, as well as the normal 7 who are very familiar with each other's stuff. But, you might have talked through kind of what each other does, but there's no time like rolling out a few dice to kind of work it out. So
this is kind of a time skip forward, and then we're going to do a time skip back after we finish here?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit of jumping around. What else did you guys want to do before we start time skipping forward?
Telaise wants to buy a better pair of shoes at Mithril Hall.
Oh, sure. Yes, absolutely.
It's not
Shopping
gonna match,
can be accomplished.
but it'll look slightly nicer. Because she can pair a pair of black boots with the outfit. That'll look fine.
That's I mean, they're good. It's a good place. They can handle,
dyeing a pair of boots.
I mean, they're good at that. That is a thing that they can do.
She will gladly pay for that because she's that girl.
Absolutely.
Look, an impression needs to be made.
It's very important.
One other thing on the way, Valandra did send that sending to Leosin.
Mm-hmm.
And while she is in Mithril Hall, she will find the people that they talked about and give them 5,000 gold worth. It probably isn't all in gold, but for just to give to the Harpers so that they can spread it out and give it to the people who need it, who were affected by the cult.
You got it. Mort, I don't know why you were just so tiny, but there you go.
I didn't know why either.
And
He's a dwarf, that's why.
He's just so tired.
I will ask if you want to go hunting around for an image from Meridia that you happen to like. We can definitely use anything. For the moment, I will see if I can just grab a little image here.
I do have an image for Mord that
sure.
I would potentially like to use. It's in my notes as my character profile.
I am a bad person and did not look.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's see here. What looks...
Whoa.
That is
not what I was picturing in my head at all.
No, he looks rough, guys.
He looks really rough.
He looks really rough. He acts okay, but he looks rough.
All right, so we are going to throw down...
He looks like he needs a hug, honestly.
I'm going to throw down this one for now. That's a terrible image here, but at least he gets us something on there. Let's get Meridia.
Want me to make a token for Mord?
Yes,
if you
please.
wouldn't mind, because I don't know how to do that and haven't taken the time, so I apologize and thank you.
One thing I do like about that placeholder token is the fact that the dwarf's beard is going out of the circle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
That's a good beard.
So, if everyone could please click their token. And Meridia, if you haven't had a chance to use Roll20 yet, we'll kind of do a little introduction there. Once you click on your token, you can use the arrow keys on your keyboard to move yourself around, up, down, left, right. You can also click and drag your token to drop yourself off other places. And right now you are this one here with the blue circle around it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And we'll give you a name. Cool. All right. So
I did have a couple other things, but we can do that after the sparring.
Oh, sure. I mean, feel free to shout them out as we go through here. Basically, I just want to make sure everybody's got their stuff set and good. So, let's go ahead.
Oh, actually, one I might want to do beforehand, because
Sure.
one of them was that I was going to see if Valandra could buy a warhorse.
Yes, warhorses are available.
I don't really know how combat with a warhorse works, but
Sure. The way mounted combat works is you are riding your mount. You can make your mount dodge or dash, but that's basically the only activity the mount can take. It moves on your turn and moves up to the speed that it has. So you increase your base speed. If it dodge, dash, or disengages, the horse gains the benefits of those. So you can move quite far, quite fast on a warhorse.
okay.
Morty dropped in the Discord chat.
Morty is dropped in the Discord chat.
Discord. Okay.
Mord!
That was really fast.
I was gonna say.
Whoa, Mord is.
It is nice to have image ninjas in the game.
Oh yeah, Athy is good at that.
Come on. Now, if only I could click the right spot on things. So,
Now, how do you change the token?
that one's on me. I'll get you that one in 1 second. Board. All right, so I do have the turn order up. So if everyone could please click on their tokens. Once your token is clicked, open up your character sheet if you don't already have it open. And then click the initiative button on the character sheet. That'll roll the initiative and add you to the turn order.
That's a cleric initiative right there.
Wow, I think that's the highest initiative Dawn has ever had.
Wait, how do I do that?
Sure. So click on your token once so that your token's selected. Then open up your character sheet, and you can do that from the menu on the right-hand side where the chat normally shows up. You can click the little journal icon, click your name, and then click back to the chat. That'll open up the token, or the character sheet, and then up towards the top is the initiative.
It says initiative right in the middle. Yep.
You got it. Cool. So now normally there would also be like hordes and hordes of monsters on the turn order, but for right now it's just you folk. I set it to descending turn order, so we see who goes first is at the top. And this is basically a last person standing wins. Though you're not doing serious damage to each other, it just looks that way. So
we're not doing serious damage, but essentially we're able to do non-lethal spell damage.
Sure. Yep.
Okay.
You got it. Because basically for things we're kind of doing it LARPing style. For things that do that, you don't actually cast spiritual guardians. You just say, "I have my spiritual guardians up," and you like spin around with a little string with a ball on the end of it.
That's amazing.
That's adorable.
That's absolutely amazing.
So
I want to know how Dawn got roped into this.
Valandra do that too.
Waverly just pleaded with Dawn. It's like, come on, it'll be so fun.
So, like, if it's like a dexterity save. Do we have to like paper, rock, scissors? Okay.
Yes.
All right. You are charmed. Okay. Act like it. Act like it.
Yes, that all goes down, but we're going to pretend that the mechanics stay the way they are.
I love the idea of we're playing D&D characters who are in turn LARPing. Like that's so good. That's so dumb. I love it.
So
RPGception.
So at the moment you're like, all right, go, and it's every person for themselves. We're playing normal rules of engagement, which means you can say you have an alliance with anybody, but the only thing backing that up is the hurt feelings afterwards. So Waverly, as the
are we just going as our positions are now, or are we letting people choose positions a little bit?
As your positions are now.
Okay.
So you lit a firecracker to set the timing, expecting it to take a few seconds to burn down so you get in position. You all just turned to start moving away. It was like, bang! You're like, short fuse. Waverly probably cheated. Waverly. Probably. Fast-burning fuse. Waverly, with the initiative, what are you doing?
Well, let's say first thing I should do is run up this tree.
Okay. Waverly sprints.
Taking after Dawn.
Waverly sprints towards the tree. The owl has no attack, so no opportunity attack there. And woof, up the tree you go. Waverly, now that you have a tree advantage, what are you doing?
The owl takes its opportunity kiss on the cheek.
There you go.
Aww. Thank you. Later, Waverly will pet the owl. God, who do I aim for?
I think you actually hear that coming down from the tree. You hear like the creak of the bow, and then you hear, God, who do I aim for?
Meridia's new. We'll aim for her.
Okay. Go in.
Boy. She's got to get experience. She's got to get experience. That's all.
She does have to get experience. So, non-lethally shoot an arrow.
Okay. That shot is just horrible. Maybe you were taking it easy on the newbie, who knows. But Meridian arrow streaks out of the tree, embeds itself in the dirt at your feet as the Mousefolk just looks at you. Waverly, anything else?
No, I think that'll be it.
Okay. That's going to bring us to Dawn. Dawn, what you doing?
Dawn is going to leave his bird behind and doing similarly. Going to get, because Tabaxi and they're crazy fast, he's going to take his zoomies and zoom up into this tree as high as he can get, which is pretty far. And
Meridia, did you know that adventuring parties are arboreal?
I'm learning that.
Cats have zoomies.
They do.
I have a cat, and I can confirm.
That's actually an impressive amount of zombies. In Dungeons and Dragons, Tabaxi have an ability that doubles their speed, so that's faster than you've probably seen most people move.
Waverly is just Spider-Man. Fine.
That's true.
Waverly has a cloak of arachnia. She literally just walked up the tree trunk.
Cats have claws. Just sort of ran all fours up the thing.
So I got a question, Waverly. Are you standing on the top or the bottom of the branch?
Yes.
right now, the top, because that's more sheltered.
That's very true.
Dawn is actually gonna go for Valandra.
Okay.
Makes sense.
She's dangerous. And I was throwing little balls of something or other as Eldritch Blast. Just
Not even.
He can't Eldritch Blast without his Eldritch Blast, so you just see them kind of like land over here somewhere.
It seemed like there was a little bit in that throw.
He's got those little beanbag things. He's like, Eldritch Blast, Eldritch Blast.
Okay. So, Dawn, anything else for you?
What did I roll? Poorly. Poorly is what I rolled.
Yes.
Bonus action would pretend that he's getting larger.
Okay.
Is going
Spiritual
to,
weapon.
Yes.
Edgar gets swole.
Edgar gets swole. And we'll scoot this way because Telaise is the closest.
Okay.
Peck.
Edgar.
Gotta sit on her shoulder and peck at her a little bit.
He gets a little pet, like, "Hi, Edgar."
Here.
Yes, you're very dangerous.
Ooh.
Seven?
Jesus.
Christ.
27.
Wow.
All
Does
right.
17
Does a 17 hit?
Oh God, yes.
Okay.
Are you kidding? Of course it does. This isn't the Sunday game, Casey. Of course it is.
That's fair. I get used to you guys being ridiculous sometimes. So Telaise marks down 17 points of check marks on her little sheet. And then Dawn, anything else?
27, not
27. God.
27, yeah. 8, 19.
Wow.
Well, wait a moment. Actually, no, that's working wrong again.
What's it doing?
It rolled 4d8 instead of 2. So that should only be
4?
18 points. Yeah, it rolled 3d8 plus 5 for the 19 and an extra d8 for the higher level cast.
Why is it doing that?
I don't know.
Wow.
But the first two were a 5 and an 8
Okay.
plus 5, so 18 damage.
Okay. I'm just gonna go back up to. I'm gonna go up to full and subtract 18.
Sounds good. And this is why we have session zeros.
So it should be rolling 3d8 now at level 8, right?
No, you don't. No, it should be rolling 2d8 plus 5.
2d8. I'm just gonna set the spell and not bother with like the choosy of the thing.
You got it.
Casey, quick thing.
Yeah.
Meridia does actually have a pseudo dragon, which should probably be on the board.
We should get a pseudo dragon on the board.
I mean, if you have the opportunity to have a pseudo dragon, you should absolutely have a pseudo dragon.
That does seem.
Does that look better? Rolled it again. Well,
Can I have a pseudo dragon?
Nope.
Nope.
You can look longingly at the.
That does look better. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it looks worse in terms of it was an @1, but it looks.
I just set the damage on my sheet as opposed to trying to pick the thing.
But you know what? That's the damage that I should have taken.
Yeah.
Yes.
You rolled exactly the same numbers in the same order.
Meridia, can I pet your pseudo dragon later?
You can try.
I imagine that is also said in character in the middle of the battle.
I mean, that
Absolutely. You can pet my pet
feels-
mouse, Toby, who lives in my pockets.
Okay. Seems fair.
Why can't I bring this up? All right, so
Toby doesn't come up very often, but he's still on my inventory.
I believe you. I believe you. I mean, he doesn't get fed much. He stopped breathing a little while back.
No, he absolutely gets fed. How dare you?
Okay, so let's give Pseudo Dragon control to. Where'd you go here, buddy? For some reason, there's a lot of dragons in this particular module. I'm not sure why.
For some reason.
They're all mixed in.
Can't really imagine.
There you go, buddy. Let's give control of you to Zed. Meridia, if you click on the pseudo dragon, you should now be able to control that as well, and you will see a sheet added to your journal that is for your pseudo dragon, who,
Great.
for the sake of easiness, will say acts on your turn, but I think it actually gets its own initiative roll in the real game. But Dawn,
that's what you've been doing with
most of them
Eerie as well.
For convenience sake, yeah. Mord.
There's already a lot of pets on the board.
That's true. Mord, as you undergo facial surgery, what are you doing?
So Mord's gonna kind of look around confused, as if to say, like, what's going on? He's gonna yell out, "I'm getting real angry."
Oh God! This holy shit!
This is everything I ever wanted.
Oh my God.
So he is raging.
With air quotes.
And air quotes around that. Yep. How high is Waverly up in that tree?
Probably, like, how tall is the tree?
So the tree's tall enough that you can... I mean, you don't weigh anything, so the tree's a good 20 feet tall. Most creatures could maybe get 10 to 15 feet up, but you could perch yourself right atop it.
Oh, yeah.
If you chose.
And I had enough movement to get all the way up there.
Sure. So we'll say 25 feet atop, probably like riding the sway of the tree at this point.
Sure. So instead, Mord is going to slowly walk over to Valandra and take out his +1 stick and swing at her 2 times recklessly.
Okay. Reckless stick usage. It's just a thing that happens. That is some reckless swinging.
Hit.
13 points of stick
one
damage.
hit for 13 points.
All right.
Goodbye, old Mord.
All right. So, as we learn a little bit about people, let's find out what...
Can you...
Yeah, I got you add it right back
myself
on.
back to the turn order.
Yep.
So.
You got it. And so now, let's find out what Meridia likes to do. Meridia, you have control over your dragon. You have control over yourself. How familiar are you at all with your options here?
A little.
A little? Okay.
I was planning to Eldritch Blast Waverly.
That seems like a great idea. That that seems very appropriate.
Well,
No, that's
thing,
fair. That's fair.
You did try and shoot her. One thing
I
that
did.
you can do is you can have your pseudo dragon fly up and use the help action, and then your first attack will have advantage.
Yes, that's
Okay.
what I want.
You got it.
Very rude.
So go ahead and drag your pseudo dragon next to Waverly.
And you have 2 spell slots, so it's up to you whether or not you want one of them to be a hex. But the thing that we talked about that you just mentioned, you couldn't do them both at the same time. So if you think the other one's cooler, then wait till you have an action for that.
You got it.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Okay.
All right. So your pseudo dragon flies up, lands on top of Waverly's head, puts its wings down over Waverly's eyes, goes nya, and Meridia, you fire your little puffball bag. You're like, this is not what an Eldritch Blast is like. But go ahead and roll your Eldritch Blast attack.
Oh, okay.
Bang. Waverly. Oh, sorry. You're not automatically rolling advantage. Hang on one second. I'm going to flip an option on your character sheet here. Because I do want you automatically rolling advantage and damage.
It just makes things easier.
Yes, please. Wow. Excuse me, I disorganized myself. There's like 1 billion creatures and monsters between me and Meridia's icon. There we go. So we're always going to roll advantage.
Gosh.
We are going to...
Do you guys seen the token that Athy just made for Meridia? It's freaking gorgeous.
Yeah, I did.
Auto roll
Uh,
damage crit.
Meridia
Okay,
is sexy.
that Eldritch Blast is not working properly either. It is not adding charisma.
Did not add charisma.
Yeah, that's just straight up 1d10. That's all
Okay.
it did.
I'll go.
If you can go ahead and add that, and Meridia, we're as we do the technical stuff, you did an excellent job on that first blast. Nice thing about Eldritch Blast, though, you get another one. So
We'll just say that this is the advantage one.
Sure.
And that should have done 9 damage if it hit Waverly.
You got it.
Not 5.
So if you could go ahead and click that attack again. Bingo. All right. So with advantage, you get the higher of the 2 rolls, which would be a 15. Waverly does a 15 hit.
A 15 does not hit.
Does not hit. Okay. First one lands fair. The second one goes stray. Meridia, that is your action. That is your familiar acting. You have a bonus action if you have one, and movement if you'd like to move. Would you like to do either of those?
How much can I move?
You can move up to 30 feet, would be your movement, I believe. Which
Each square is 5 feet, so you can move up to 6 squares.
You got it. And if you click and hold your icon, move it slightly, and then right-click, you will see a arrow showing you how much you've moved. If you right-click again, it'll set a little dot, and then you can keep moving. And then when you let go, it'll kind of move you around.
I guess I'll just keep with the trend and tree myself.
Okay. Adventurers like trees, except for the dwarf, for some reason. Meridia, oh, by the way, witty banter there's always time for, so feel free to call out taunts and insults, snappy retorts, or bad jokes. I like puns. Anything. And as that...
Oh, okay.
It's just some people are tight on timing. I'm a little looser on it. But Telaise, what are you doing?
So after getting pecked by Edgar, she cries out, "I am invisible!" and casts greater invisibility.
Okay.
And I'm invisible.
Okay.
And it doesn't break until my concentration breaks or until the spell ends. So y'all
that is
get
true. Everyone starts covering their eyes and only peeking between their hands at other people. You got to hold your little invisibility card up over your head the whole time. Telaise, that would be an action, I believe.
I mean, to be fair, that's already non-lethal, so she could just turn invisible.
Sure.
Yep.
But I mean, that seems iffy. But here we go.
She is a little extra, so she might just do
Safety prone.
So no one cheats.
Fair enough. So as invisibility is invoked, Telaise, bonus action or movement?
She is going to move.
Okay.
Does my visibility stop attacks of opportunity?
Correct. They can't see you, so they cannot opportune you.
Yep.
I will move over here.
Sounds good.
Wham.
And any bonus action for you?
Nah.
You got it. Valandra. Mord has got up in your face with his safety stick. What are you doing?
So Valandra, as an action, will... let me see. Will use Booming Blade with Radiant or Divine Strike on Mord. And I believe this should be just a straight roll because he attacked recklessly, but he has the cloak of displacement.
Correct.
Yes. So advantage and disadvantage cancel out. So it's just a standard attack as Valandra calls out, her mace goes boom, and then it goes boom.
It really does. So 26. So 26, so 13 for you, because you're raging.
Right, but it's not all at once. I thought I needed to move in order to...
The thunder only triggers if you move.
No. It does an extra D8 of thunder damage. If you move, then it does another 2D8 thunder damage.
Oh, that's right.
Not included in this.
Okay.
Right? You're high enough level now,
Okay.
and your divine smite is your divine smite, so that's where all that's coming from. So yes, well struck. 26 check marks.
Yep. And then Valandra will cast Spiritual Weapon at 4th level.
Okay.
And
You see Mord acting really poorly. As in literally acting. He's like, and then he kind of like staggers back a few seconds after your attack.
And I will attack Waverly with it.
Wow.
I love the betrayal. The betrayal in that gasp right there.
Think of it this way, Waverly. You're that important.
You are.
Oh, I am.
Does a 15 hit? I don't think so.
No, a 15 does not hit.
15 does
Alright.
not. So, Valandra, as your turn comes to an end, that's bonus action. Any movement?
Nope.
And anything for Mr. Audi?
I should have had him do something earlier, but I did not.
Okay.
So, he will fly up 20 feet.
Okay.
Sentinel.
What?
Sentinel.
Oh no, Mr. Owl!
Oh, wait a minute. Just a moment. Because owls have flyby.
They do, but I think
But is that
might...
only...
I think Sentinel might overcome that. Hang on 1 second.
Doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity when it flies out of an enemy's reach. It's not disengaging.
If that is the wording, then
And
you
Sentinel,
are fine.
Sentinel specifically, they still provoke when they disengage.
When they disengage. Yep. Alright, so the owl's flyby does work.
Oh, rats.
Sorry about that. You're like, Mord's like, goes to swing. Valanche's like, no, wait. He's an owl. And Mord's like, oh, yes, owls. So...
Wait, he's an owl.
Oh, yes.
Mord just looks at you like, what? What does that have to do with...
And in that distraction, the owl gets away.
So, this has turned into a weirder session than I was expecting here, but that's fine. Waverly...
Turned into an amazing session.
Waverly, up in your tree, surrounded by a pseudo-dragon, a spiritual mace look-alike. What are you doing? Oh, Jessie, did I mute you?
Sorry.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
right.
I muted. All right. Okay. What was that?
Up in the tree, pseudo-dragon and mace are surrounding you. What are you doing? Everybody's paying attention to the mouse.
Yeah. I'm a little bit more worried about the mace.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little.
She's seen what it can do.
I have. I am going to... Guys, go to sleep. It's like 5:30. Go to bed. Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to shoot Valandra and trying to disrupt that.
Okay.
Go for it.
You may take the shot. 22, Valandra?
That hits.
Ooh.
I think with Mord there, that sneak attack should definitely.
So this is going to be an up to Mord question. Mord, are you allying yourself with Waverly for the moment, or not?
Well, it's really more the fact, is he allying himself with Valandra, because, like, it doesn't matter if he's allying with me as long as he's Valandra's.
So what's the wording on sneak attack? I thought it was you had to have an ally.
The wording, would be. Just a second here. Oh, no. Actually, yes, it does
If
sneak
there's
attack.
another
You don't
creature-
need advantage on the attack roll if another enemy of the target
Yeah.
Ooh, very
Yeah,
nice.
that's what-
5 feet of it.
That is what I thought.
Good
That is what I
job.
thought.
So, Valandra, 17 points of sneaky damage.
It's the point of taking advantage of a distraction.
There we go.
Exactly.
Sneakiness.
And as that is rained down upon, the little toy arrow goes plink off your armor and falls beside you. Like, oh no, 17! Waverly, what
Why
do
are
you...
we shouting out numbers at each other now?
Just because.
That's established in
Okay.
the fiction.
It is. Waverly, what are you doing now?
I'm gonna just back off, disengage,
Mm-hmm.
head to over this corner of the tree.
Sounds good. Dawn, familiars I don't think get attacks of opportunity, do they?
Familiars
The
I
can
don't think they do.
cannot attack.
But the
Okay.
Pact of the Chain ones? Or am I
Oh,
thinking
the
of the wrong?
pact. Oh, right. That's a little wibbly, because the
It
the
just-
warlock can use their action to allow the familiar to attack, so the familiar can make attacks. But given the
Warlock
way
has
that
to
it
use the- yeah,
involves
okay.
the warlock, it's not clear whether or not they should be able to make opportunity attacks. So that's kind of up to you.
We'll say no for now and research later as we go. So, Dawn then.
When in doubt, disengage.
Yep.
He's gonna sigh and just sort of like half-heartedly chuck his little balls of blasts.
Wait, who are we chucking them at? I guess the first one doesn't...
Valandra still.
Oh, Valandra still. Okay, so the first one's like
Of course.
half at the ground. The second one, though, that's a good little...
Beans her right up in the back of the head.
It's like,
Yep.
finds the way in.
And then Edgar's gonna come over and like sit on her head.
All right. One more Edgar peck.
Do this properly, please.
15, not going to do it, but the damage looks
It
right.
did do it properly. Yeah.
You got
Yay.
it. Dawn.
Is there a way to
And properly missed.
Is there a way to turn off it asking for your level? Or is that just a thing it does now? I was looking for it, but I didn't see.
Wait.
Is it asking what level you want to cast the spell at?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, that's
That's
You'd
just there now?
probably so the way to do that would be to just add another attack and type in everything manually and not have it actually associated with.
Yeah, with him, that's what I did. But I was just like wondering to keep that pop up from happening because it's annoying.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's still okay. I'll look into that later. I'm not sure yet
Sure.
at the
Yeah,
moment.
because I set it to just do, because it's just easier to click and then not have to be like, what level am I casting at now? Because warlocks. But
Mhm.
yeah.
So, Mord,
So we good.
it seems like you've got the popular target in front of you. What are you doing?
Just quick, according to errata version 1.0, when you let your familiar attack, it does so with its reaction, but that was all I was able to find.
Fair deal.
That's when when you as the warlock use your action to let it attack.
Got it.
But that's all I was able to find in the few seconds.
No problem.
But Mord is still gonna be like standing stiff as a board, as if he's like a small child who has a song to sing in a play. And he's like, I'm gonna attack again twice, and then do that at advantage because reckless.
Uh, 27, I think, will work. The 11, not so much.
That'll work. Yeah.
All
Oh God, you guys are really ganging up on Valandra.
All of a sudden, Blair's like, oh.
You have the AC of an adult dragon.
That's true. So, Mord, any bonus action or movement for you?
Well, his legs feel wobbly, and he's not entirely sure if that's because of the spell that Valandra cast, or if he's nervous about being forced to act. So he's just going to stand still, and I don't think he has any bonus actions he can take because he's already raging.
You got it. So, Meridia, it comes back around to you, one of the tree folk. What are you doing?
Point of order, she has an AC higher than that of any adult dragon.
Adult dragons are tricky creatures. But, Meridia, what do you got?
I think I'm going to blast Mord because it seems mean that Valandra is getting ganged up on.
Sure. Aim in for Mord. Go ahead and take the shot.
Just a normal roll.
Well, it's
if
yeah.
you have, yeah.
Yeah. She's got the auto advantage clicked.
Yep.
Now, so we'll just take the first one.
Oh, I misclicked. Ignore
That's all right.
that.
No problem.
That one's for real.
Ooh, yeah, that one is for real.
And that would mean that the next one is at advantage because the Cloak of Displacement stops working once you're hit.
You got it.
Yep.
So,
Wait, I
Meridia,
get to shoot twice?
you get to shoot twice.
Yes.
You get 2
Great.
Eldritch Blasts for each attack. And boy, do you use them well. And Mord, that's force damage. Do you resist force damage?
I resist everything but psychic.
So close. So 19 points of damage divided down.
Yep, already took it down.
You got it. Meridia, you're on point, but that is one sturdy-looking dwarf. Anything else for you?
I'm gonna climb up real high in that tree. I don't want to get shot at again. But no, nothing in a practical sense.
Okay, sounds good. Now, Telaise, no one can see all the awesome things you've been doing, but what are you doing?
How high up is the tree Meridia's in?
Let's say 15-ish feet. On the little side she's on, if she was to jump over to the other trunk, let's say 30, because that looks like a bigger tree. So 15-ish feet.
Dissonant whispers. Meridia.
Okay.
I need her to do a
Wisdom
some kind of
saving
save.
throw.
Why does this never show up right?
So, Meridia, on your character sheet, you will see saving
You are
throws,
mean,
one for
Telaise.
wisdom. Could you please
she's
roll your
attacking my
wisdom
sister.
saving throw?
Is my Discord borked?
Oop,
I'd be happy to do that if you tell me where
Sure.
that is.
Upper left-hand side, it'll say saving throws, and one of them will say wisdom.
It'll say saving throws in the little box below. So it's your name. There's a thing that says inspiration, then proficiency bonus, and then there's a box that says strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. And then saving throws at the bottom. Wisdom.
That?
Ooh.
That is the right thing to roll, but that was the wrong number to roll.
Uh-oh.
So you take 12 damage.
Okay. So good.
And you need to
click on your icon, and you see where it says 68 in the green circle above it.
She got it.
Oh, yep.
I watched it subtract. Now you need to take your 30-foot movement and run away from the source of that spell as fast as to your full movement. So you need to move 30 feet.
Here's an interesting question.
She doesn't know the
she'd be
source.
like here.
Does
Well,
she?
I'm behind her.
Yeah, but
matter.
you're invisible.
It's a psychic spell, so
Yeah, so we're gonna say she's
It does say speed
Can
away
hear.
from you. Okay, yep.
can hear. So now, Meridia, you are 15 feet up in the air, and you're going to be trying to move directly south, which is basically out of the tree. So I am going to need to ask you for a acrobatics check to get down the tree and across the ground at top speed without hurting yourself. So please roll me an acrobatics checks. You want above a 10.
Yeah, okay.
Bingo.
He's got it.
You are a lithe creature. You run down the trunk, across the ground, and please move 30 feet straight south.
yeah, it'd be
How do you pull up the thing? Oh, okay.
right there.
Right here.
One more.
One more. There we go.
And don't worry about the controls. We were all much worse than you are right now. There was a lot more cursing when certain ones of us learned how to play.
Oh, absolutely.
So Telaise, having sent your companion scampering across the ground, what are you doing?
I'm going to take my 30 feet of movement.
You got it.
And I think that is my turn. Can I get like a marker to show that I'm invisible? So we
Sure.
How do I do that? Can I do that myself?
If you click on yourself, do you see the little kind of circle icon below? That's got all the little icons on it.
Oh, cool.
You can give yourself an icon.
It's shiny.
Valandra will switch out her mace for the Staff of Healing.
Okay.
And she will cast Cure Wounds on herself at 4th level.
Okay. You tear one of the sticky notes off your mace and put it on your own forehead, representing the use of the charge. Wow, that's a lot of health.
Nice.
That's a lot, but that's not nearly how much you guys have gotten me down. I'm still down like 30.
As Valandra complains this, pointing out the sheet that she's now having to erase all the pieces off of. Valandra, anything else for you?
Yes, so I believe Mord has been hit this turn.
I believe he has.
Yep.
So the spiritual weapon will move up and attack with advantage.
Sure can.
Once I find it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's a big hit.
So, well, it would be a big hit on anyone else.
I really missed the talking weapons for this fight, guys.
Yeah. I really want to hear what Whelm would have to say about that.
So 22.
God, no, what? 22 reduced to 11. Yep. No, what I really want to hear is what Black Razor would have to say about us fake fighting.
So, Valandra, that is action and bonus action. Any movement, or are we good to go to Waverly?
We are good.
Got it. Waverly, from the opposite side of the tree, you hear as Valandra calls out the sound her mace would make if it was actually hitting Mord. What are you doing?
All right, I have, because of this beautiful spider cloak, I have once a day I can cast web.
Do you?
Twice the size as normal, so 40-foot cube. So I am going to center it. I'm going to center it about here. So 40-foot cube.
Okay.
And Meridia is going to basically be the lower right-hand corner. And so, all of you need to make a strength. Those 3 of you in there need to make a strength check, and the rest of it is going to be difficult terrain now.
Can we draw a box?
I believe a box is necessary. Yes, please. Waverly, please web this area up.
I will do that.
So, as things are being webbed...
So
DC
isn't
13 strength.
Isn't it a dex saving throw first?
Hang on here.
Yes.
Dexterity.
Yes,
I'm sorry. Yes.
Dexterity
that's
saving
much
throw.
worse.
When you start your turn in it.
Each creature. Yep. So
I was reading the wrong part. You're right.
nothing right now.
Nothing right now. But you know what, Mord? We'll say that you make it when you do. All right. So hold your rolls. That is our big old webby box. And
It's all difficult terrain now.
all difficult terrain. Waverly, anything else for you?
No, I think that will be it for my turn.
All right. So, Dawn. It just got gooey.
Yes. Edgar's gonna just kind of like do a hop on top of Valandra's head because he's still there.
Yep.
Yep.
Right page. There we go. Choom. Not so much.
Not so much.
Nope.
But okay. So Dawn has seen Telaise do this spell before, and she Meridia just suddenly like scrambled out of this tree and ran the hell away. So he's going to guess that she had been back in this vicinity somewhere.
Okay.
So he is going to, in like centering it roughly here to try to get as much of space as possible, is going to cast that.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Because
Okay.
he's not nice even when he's playing.
So, Dawn starts calling out, "Hunger of Hadar!" and then has to walk over and draw a circle on the ground and then walk back over to the tree.
I'm imagining he actually casts Hunger of Hadar, but just does it like a little ways off and says, "That over there."
It's right there. Is it? See that thing over there? It's right where that spot is.
So,
Hold on, so roughly from here, 20 feet?
20
20
feet
foot
all
radius.
around. So, let's see here. On that one...
That's gonna sit. That sits there too, right?
That does sit there.
mean-
That's magical darkness, right?
That is magical
Yes.
darkness. That is
So-
all kinds of mess. So...
20.
Can't you draw like an actual shape?
Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm enjoying watching this happen. Just
I'm-
that's half the fun.
I am bad at those tools, and my cat's butt is in the way. Excuse me, cat. Trying to draw, and his butt keeps
There you go.
like that works.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh wow.
Is that about? I think that's about the right size, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
and appropriate.
There we go. So nice and spooky.
That's
Wait, come back.
that-
Where'd you go? Don't go. I love you. There you go. All right. So big and
Roar.
scary and spooky. Dawn. Anything else?
Needs to roll a something save.
I
I think, or is that
at start of her
no,
turn.
Start
Beginning
and-
beginning
Okay.
of your turn, you just straight take damage. End of your turn, you make a dex save or take more damage.
Okay, so it exists currently.
Yep. So, that is action. Do you want a bonus action? You did the
That
attack
was
and miss.
yes, that was
Okay.
it. Gonna sit in his tree.
So, Mord, I do need to ask you for your dexterity saving throw, which you pass. So you are okay at the moment. It's just gooey.
Yep. Oh geez, Thomas, do you happen to know if there's any bonus for, or like if I cannot use ranged weapons for rage?
That is a good question. I am not certain. I think you can. Well, I think you can use them if they're strength based. So, like, if it's a throwing weapon, you could do
Okay.
it. I believe if it's dex based, you cannot.
I mean, I could still use them. I just don't get the rage damage
Yes.
bonus. Okay, and I probably can't reckless attack with them.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I believe reckless is melee.
Advantage on melee weapon attacks using strength.
Okay. Oof, oofta. Okay.
When you make a melee weapon attack using strength, you gain +2 to the damage roll.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So I am going to take 2 steps back out of the web. He's going to pull out his bow, and then he's going to fire twice, one at the owl familiar and then one at Valandra.
Okay.
So first, I will take my attack of opportunity. No, I have my staff. Can I hit him with my staff?
I mean, yes. You have proficiency in staff, right?
Quarter staff, I believe.
Yep. So yeah, you can
That's
swing
a
with it.
simple weapon, right?
Yep.
So I'll. Does it count as a quarter staff, or is
Yeah.
it an improvised weapon?
That
Okay.
counts as corner staff.
Okay, I'll just roll my hand axe since that's the right modifier for it.
Sure.
I will check if that's the right damage later.
He
also,
is
not a hit.
You are not a hit.
So, yep.
You do have disadvantage.
Yep.
You got it. So, Mord steps away cleanly, turns, and does something.
Yep, so the first attack is going to be towards the owl, and then the second will be against Valandra.
You got it. Owl's up in the air. You take your shot. I think that's going to do it for the owl.
Let me see. I don't have the owl pulled up at the moment. Yeah, the armor class is 11.
Yep. The owl puts the arrow under its wing, goes, "Wah!" and flaps down.
Oh no, how cute is that? Oh my god.
So, Mord, then the second shot I don't think is going to land.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Not even a little bit, but anything else for you?
Nope, that'll be it.
You got it. Meridia, nonsense is happening all around you, and you find yourself amidst some webs. I need to ask you for a dexterity saving throw, or you're going to get all gummed up in there. Dexterity saving throw, that is going to be a fail, which means you are restrained.
Gross.
Which gives disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks, and you cannot move, I believe.
Correct. So it is either
it might not be ability checks.
Yep. No, it's just the attack rolls.
Attack rolls against you have advantage. Your attack rolls have disadvantage, and dexterity saving throws have disadvantage.
You got it. So, Meridia, you can either try and tear yourself free with your strength, or you could just take shots at people, but it's going to be hard to shoot with all these webs stuck to you. Which would you like to do?
Alternately, there is a spell that you have that could get you out of this, although you only have 2 spells, so up to you whether you want to use it on it. But if you look under your 4th level spells, the second one, that could get you out of it.
Okay. You're gonna need to be more
okay.
You can say the names. It's okay.
If you want to be tactful, then just DM me real quick.
Okay.
No, you're good. You're good. You can just spit it out.
Or that. I don't really care.
I was trying to keep the suspense on what she could do a little bit, but you do have Dimension Door.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to do that.
Okay.
I forgot about that.
Not a problem. So you can be basically anywhere you want to be. Where do you want to be?
Alternately, in case you find this more fun, you also have Blink, which, if you do shift to the ethereal plane on this turn, you could then appear outside the web next turn. But it's not a guarantee, but it would last longer and help against other attacks against you.
That sounds complicated.
That's kind of why I was suggesting it now when it's a practice thing, that it doesn't actually matter that much. But it's up to you.
Okay, I mean, that sounds great and all, but I'm just not sure how to do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, then just go with...
if you want to, I can walk you right through it.
Okay, if no one minds me wasting a second time here.
No, you're fine.
No worries.
Okay, so Blink. So, essentially, for 1 minute, not concentration, so you can still cast other things. So, at the end of your turn, you just roll a d20. And if it's 11 or higher, until the start of your next turn, you're in the ethereal plane and nobody can target you.
Great. Yeah, I'm into that.
And
Okay.
then at the beginning of your next turn, you can choose where you want to appear, up to 10 feet away from where you were.
Got it. So go ahead and roll me a d20.
If that's the end of your turn, Oh no, because you can't move and you don't have any other bonus actions. So yeah, that's the end of your turn. Sorry.
No problem. So go ahead and roll a d20, which you can do on the menu on the left-hand side. Click the little dice, which is the second one up from the bottom, and then click the d20, which will be the third one up from the bottom. You got it. That is a 16.
Have vanished. Yep.
Meridia vanishes from this plane, and we're gonna say that's like a ninja face, maybe.
Great.
All right. Meridia makes like a ninja, flower ninja. Telaise.
And then just a point for Kira here. And then so since you cast a spell, if you look under your 4th level spells and you see where it says the 2 right there. So right above where it says banishment, you see the 2.
Yeah.
If you hover just to the right of that, you'll see an up arrow and a down arrow.
Okay.
Click the down arrow because you've used a spell slot now.
All right.
So when you use any of your spells that is not a cantrip, then you've used one of your spell slots.
Okay.
You got it. So, as Meridia blinks out, Telaise, you're in a world of weirdness. You take
Be cold.
You take 3 points of cold damage while you stand inside the circle, and Dawn's like 3.
There's like
Concentration check.
Yeah.
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 Yep. Hang on.
Telaise flips a coin.
So Kira, what's happening here is Telaise took damage and she's concentrating on a spell, so she has to make a Constitution save of 10 or half the damage, whichever is higher, to keep concentrating on the spell. Essentially, if she fails to concentrate, the spell ends that she's concentrating on, and so she would turn visible again.
I'm still invisible.
But she's fine.
You're also getting horribly molested by Japanese tentacle horror shows going on.
Wow, thank you.
So Dawn's calling that out to Telaise, like, and Telaise is just like, by the way, this spell is going to do things to you.
Yeah, I'm going to be comfortable.
Valandra will ask
nice
what
thing to do,
Japan is.
sibling.
Yeah.
What's Japan?
Japan.
So Telaise, you are invisible, but you're also in the dark. What are you doing?
I'm gonna get out of the dark. For once. That's for sure. I'm gonna get out of the dark.
That seems reasonable.
Karator, that's what I was thinking of.
That would take me out of the dark. I'm assuming since we've got a border here.
And also be difficult terrain.
That's okay, but 10 feet of movement, and you are out of the dark.
Right. Okay. That would be... If I dash, that's where What is that?
Oh. Boxes are appearing and disappearing.
Wrong tool.
There's a glitch in the matrix.
Right. 5 feet of movement. So that was 10.
What's the Matrix?
I think it's because we're LARPing in an RPG.
And she's going to...
What did I just say?
She's going to just dash, and that's her action.
You got it. So as nothing visibly happens, Valandra, I need a dexterity saving throw from you.
Okay. She is bad at these. Yep.
Yes, she is. Valandra, you are restrained by the webs. You can use your strength to tear yourself free, or be stuck. What you doing?
Alright. Given the fact that everybody seems to be targeting me, and that restrained gives advantage, it seems like it would be a good idea to try and break out of this. So that's just a strength check?
Strength check. Your difficulty is a 13, I believe.
I will actually... No, damn it. Mord killed my owl, so I can't have Eerie help.
True.
Um,
Eerie's sitting on your shoulder, like, shrugs at you.
Yep.
16 is
It's
fine,
fine.
though.
So, we'll move. Let's see, difficult terrain. And let's see here. The spiritual weapon will attack Mord again.
Sounds good.
Disadvantage.
It's true. But back. Sorry. There we go. How's a 20?
Yep, that'll still hit.
So 18 reduced to 9.
Deadly accuracy.
Maybe you should have gone for like the +1 armor instead.
The +1 armor wouldn't have helped. My AC is still 17.
So, Valandra, as you continue to wreak destruction, Waverly.
There was briefly an X on Mord.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
Waverly.
It was just for like a second, but it was...
No, I clicked the wrong button. I thought X was get rid of all symbols.
Oh, no.
Nope, X is
you're
you
dead.
Yeah, no, I got that.
I have made
He
that.
thought he was dead for a
so many
second, but then
times.
Valandra's like, no, you're not dead yet. It's like, what?
No, I didn't
Oh,
hit you
oh,
that
okay.
hard.
Get back.
Valandra's like giving math lessons. Waverly, what are you doing?
I'm gonna aim for Mord.
Okay.
Pew pew.
Pew pew.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh. That's disappointing.
Okay.
That
Nice
would've-
sneaky.
Yeah, that would have been awesome sneak attack there.
It would have been.
Jesus.
I mean,
But
I guess I did take the lucky feat. I could re-roll it, but
Do it.
could
Do
we
it.
roll it?
Yeah, re-roll that attack.
I'm
Do
gonna
it.
re-roll the
Absolutely.
attack.
Okay. Yeah.
Just roll a d20 and then add 7 to it.
Oh no.
Still missed.
That's
Someone
Absolutely
said
not.
it had to be good luck.
yeah.
No, not good luck.
That's not how that works. So, I think, however, at this point, it's just going to devolve into nonsense as more and more pieces of paper and bits of parchment and people yelling out and measuring stuff, and eventually it'll fall down into just chaos and then some drinking and then continuing on your way. So, I hope everybody had a bit of an opportunity to get used to the combat. Meridia, you did real well, so I don't see any issues with you guys getting into the first parts of the Doom Vault when we pick back up 2 weeks from now, which will be May 2nd, because that's how calendars work.
2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now. Next week I will be screaming my throat raw at a Squirrel Nut Zippers concert because
What a weird thing to be going to.
Squirrel Nut Zippers?
Why
Yeah,
is
what a
that
name.
weird?
Squirrel Nut
That's
Zippers.
weird.
The squirrel nut zipper.
Squirrel Nut Zippers, they're awesome. Remember, I'm old, so they're awesome. But
I've never heard of them, so.
I think you will know one or two of the songs. It's almost impossible not to know either Ghost of Stephen Foster, Afterlife, or Hell.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Google the things.
Yeah, you'll hear the song. You're like, oh, it's that one, because it's overplayed. But that's okay.
Well, it's still probably not going to be something I recognize because I don't listen to the radio.
That might impair the song transmission to you then.
I don't remember ever hearing them.
What?
I'm
D to
not
the A to
familiar
the N
with
to
any
the
of
N
those
to the
either.
A to the T to the I-O-N. Lose your face and lose your name. Then get ready for eternal flame.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never heard of that song before in my life.
Met the ghost of Stephen Foster at the Hotel Paradise. This is what I told him as I gazed into his eyes.
Nope.
You guys are harsh.
They're pretty handy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. Alright, so 2 weeks we'll pick back up. If you guys have any questions about your characters, etc., feel free to let me know. Chat, feel free to chat in there. But we'll assume by the time you guys arrive or start getting into the desert, you'll have been traveling together for a week or two. You'll know each other pretty well and have a pretty decent layout of each other's skills and abilities. So there shouldn't be too many crazy surprises, and there should be a reasonable level of trust built up within you as far as, you know, we're adventuring together, each other's lives are on the line, you know, that kind of thing. If there's anything you guys would like to pick up special equipment-wise, you guys will have time to have shopped at the Mithril Hall, as well as stopovers in several towns along the way for provisions before you get out to the desert. There's a lot to do in this dungeon, so I'm going to kind of hand-wave the escapades and adventures you might have had along the way. But if you'd like to introduce something for RP reasons, a funny vignette or a serious vignette or whatever it happens to be, feel free to kick one off with one another, and we can let that go. And that can be anything from somebody knows how to burp the whole alphabet to, I don't know, something serious that I'm not good at coming up with on the spot.
Also, question.
Yeah.
The ring of regeneration, will that bring his fur back?
Will it?
According to the item description, it should.
Well, it says it'll bring a missing body part back. And
And heal our scars.
Fur is absolutely a body part for a tabaxi.
For a cat?
It is a body part, but it's not going to make your hair grow faster. Otherwise, it would just, you'd turn into like a Persian.
You mean like his sister?
Like, yeah, he all of a sudden start really resembling your sister.
No, but the thing is, like, he's so scarred, like, whether or not it would heal.
Oh yeah, it will heal the scars. After enough time, you will have no scars. Wearing the ring of regeneration, you go back to baby smooth skin. After a bit.
After the 1d6 plus 1 days?
Yes, after the 1d6 plus 1 days.
Let me roll that and see. Then he'll start getting...
By the time we get to the oasis, he'll be fine.
I mean, he'll be... he might
5 days, and he'll be a sphinx.
Yes. After 5 days, you will be baby smooth, and then shortly thereafter, you're going to have teddy bear fuzz. And then after a little while longer, you actually get all your fur back. I have never shaved one of my cats, so I don't know how long cat fur actually takes to grow back, but it takes about however long that is.
Quick.
I'll Google that.
Yeah, you can.
That's a Google.
There's a Google. How long does cat fur take to grow back after you dip one in acid and fire blast it?
Repeatedly.
Yes.
Are you a
He was
short
literally set on fire like 3 or 4 times, like that one session.
So
Over
I
and
know
over again.
I know Dusk is a long hair. Is Dawn a short hair somehow?
I believe Dawn is a
He
short
had
hair.
shorter.
Okay. Hair should
Cat
grow back
genetics.
in less than 3 months. It doesn't.
Less than 3 months, so he'll be chilly for a while.
He's gonna be fuzzy soon.
We'll get him a sweater.
Dawn's using like hair grow ointments.
Speaking of potions,
Yes.
I was going. Well, one, I believe Dawn and Valandra were working on healing potions on the way
Sure.
to Mithril Hall, and I'll do the math on that later. But then also, I was gonna see
That's something else I want to buy.
if because we need in order to brew anything but basic healing potions, we need the recipe essentially, right? Would we be able to buy some of those at Mithril Hall?
Recipes?
Yeah.
Guilds will not sell you recipes because that's how guilds make their money.
What about Dawn trying to, because I know we're going to be there a little bit, like, reverse engineer.
Sure. You can research a recipe. You basically research the recipe for, I believe it's 5 or 10 times the, and I'll get you the right numbers, 5 or 10 times the cost of the item you're going to make is to make the recipe, and then from that point forward you have the recipe available to you. But like an alchemist guild, it's like, trying to get the recipe for Budweiser. It's locked up in a vault somewhere. Schlitz and water. I don't know.
So no, I have a couple potions. I was just wondering if it was possible, like we have the 2 potions of gaseous form. Like if there was a way to maybe like take one of them and just, I guess, reverse alchemizes it with his alchemy tools and stuff to see if he can figure out what's how.
Sure. Basically, time and money, and you can accomplish that.
Because he has an alchemist kit, which is not like a full lab situation, right?
Correct. So that's part of what's hampering you, is that you guys haven't set down roots and started a lab or have assistants and that sort of stuff. So you will be spending more time than you could if you were using assistants and that sort of stuff, or guild services or other things.
That's a lie. Dawn absolutely has an assistant. It's Valandra.
I mean, that's, I guess.
I'm not making an argument for taking less time or anything.
Well, no, I mean,
we've done some RP off screen.
No, but I mean, the two of you working together definitely halves the time. It's 2 people working instead of 1. But I meant like 5 or 10 poorly paid assistants.
I know what you meant. It just,
interns.
We're moving too much for that.
Interns. Well, that's why you set up a base and you go back to it occasionally, and there's this open patch of ground in this nice place called Greenest, where Escobar's like sitting on the porch, like, they'll be home today. I can feel it. Nope. Is that them? Nope. Maybe tomorrow. Wait, is that them? Nope. Poor Escobar.
Valandra's probably sent him ascending now and again.
Oh, I'm sure.
So he knows it's not going to be them, but
I mean, he's a hopeful guy. Also, he's a really old dwarf, and they do get a little spacey after a while.
Forgetful.
One too many cave-ins. All right.
Hey, did we have a cart?
I'm 90% sure you had one at one point and
At the
sold
very
it.
beginning.
And sold
But
it?
way long time ago when we left Greenest.
I was just going to say,
we
if
have
we're going
not
to
had a
wander
cart.
through a desert, then we might want to have something to carry a lot of supplies.
Sure.
Also, if we're going to wander through a desert working on potions.
Mm-hmm. You could get a yurt.
Yeah, so
not-
Mord will suggest doing that, and I know that he's going to pick up a portable battering ram at some point.
Subtle. Very subtle.
Hey, I was having problems with this door in a dungeon, so I want to make sure that never happens again. I need something strong.
Yes, portable rams definitely available. All shapes and sizes.
And Dawn still has his book on a chain.
Dawn still has the book on a chain.
He'll feed it things occasionally. Perhaps a Thayan wizard or 2, if that opportunity comes up.
It's
Eat
game.
this guy. How do you
try?
Eat this guy. Okay, what do you know about the Red Wizards now?
Tell us everything.
It was very upset about the burning of the Oni head. It was like, oh.
Could have fed it to the
That was an option.
Yeah, missed opportunity right there. So we will.
Yeah,
pick...
if you had to have spoken up before Telaise lit it on fire. She's like, nope.
I think Telaise might have been lighting that on fire as it was talking.
As it's laughing and swearing at us, be like, and go back to hell.
It goes up in flames. Donsel's like, I could have fed that to my book.
Well, and she's like, as she's pouring more like oil on it, you should have said something earlier.
Too late now. So let's see here.
Without the marshmallows.
You should have said something earlier. I don't know why you would expect me to do anything else, she says, pouring oil on the fire.
It's very fair. So let's see here. Anything that I am forgetting to have brought up about the adventure you guys are going to be launching into?
Bonus XP?
Bonus XP? Sure, let's do some bonus XP. So you guys did receive your 4,200. So, and you guys are all level 8 at this point, so your bonus XP are worth 200 each?
That is
how
correct.
math works?
Jesus, wow, okay.
So it will become a little more strenuous to get qualified for your nominations, but let's hear. What's bonus XP would like to do?
Just a quick. Should probably let Kira know what the bonus XP thing is about.
So bonus XP during the adventure, if someone does something that you appreciate, make note of it mentally or on a piece of paper, or however you like to. Towards the end of the session, we'll ask for that, and you guys can nominate one another. Usually we keep it to 1 or 2 nominations per person for earning extra XP for things that you did that were awesome. Basically that's it.
Like Mord's acting abilities deserve.
Yeah, that's gonna get.
Yeah.
For example,
we've got like lots of stuff. We've got like a backlog.
Yeah. So for example, Mord's acting abilities definitely is worth it.
I specifically had written down. I think it's because we're LARPing in an RPG. What did I just say?
It's Inception. That's what's happening.
Yep. So Mord will gain 200 XP for that, and it can be in-character stuff, out-of-character stuff, anything that helps other people enjoy the game.
All right. We've got some old stuff going here because we've had several sessions where we didn't do this. So toss the Cleric. That's for that's way back right after we got Wave. That's for Mord, I would say, and Valandra because she let it happen, throwing the Cleric.
Okay, so we'll give Mord the credit on that one, and that'll get Mord up to his 2 nominations for 400 XP.
Wait, this is from like several sessions ago. Like you had us building them up. You never put a limit on it before.
Okay, so keep going, but we'll enact that limit moving forward. What else we got?
Okay. Let's see.
I have in the battle in the inverted ziggurat when I don't remember exactly what it was. It was Waverly missed with her arrow but did a ridiculous amount of sneak attack damage and I quote Casey, scared the water behind that wall.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So Waverly for making the water wet itself.
Let's see. I have. I have to like interpret my own notes because I was writing them as we're playing, so I remember. Valandra for the Horn of Valhalla.
I have Telaise for the emotional goodbye with Wave.
Oh, I'm so glad someone did that. She tried so hard to keep that thing. Oh, wow, this one's good. I even wrote it down like this. Dawn of the Demon. Just everybody putting in the overkill on that Oni.
There was a little bit of overkill there.
Yeah, it felt good.
All right, so hang on. I do have to ask. I think it was Mord who whispered, "I'll be back for you," or was it Telaise to Wave? I lost track.
It was Mord.
It was Mord.
Both.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, Mord said that first, and
No, you had your goodbye with Wave first, and then I did my thing with Whelm, and then much later I did, or I said that I'll be back for you.
yeah, I might. We're both hoping that someday somebody dies and we get to pick up those weapons. Possibly someday in the near future.
I had Mord for on the way to Mithril Hall, beginning to believe Whelm that the clouds are out to get him.
Oh, that was good.
This technically is happening and isn't happening, but I'd like to nominate Meridia for being Schrodinger's half-elf, just because she is currently in flux of whether she exists or not.
We did
I
end
like
with
that.
me in a different dimension, kind of.
Yep.
Yeah, we did.
Very nice.
Valandra's healing tag. Remember that? For Dawn, because she had her Spirit Guardians up that could hurt Dawn, so she's like, I run in, I smack him with the cure wounds, and I run back out.
Love tap.
Dawn for being the messenger bird that carried all of us around in the bag. Did we have that one already?
Bag of holding airlines.
Like the deli bird of Dungeons and Dragons.
Got it.
I guess I don't know who all plays Pokemon here. That's a good question to ask. Did anyone play Pokemon?
Not that one.
I am familiar.
Not that one. Okay.
Waverly's lightning bolt attack.
Oh god, the one that
geez.
did like
Yeah.
270 damage.
Yeah, just
that one.
Zap. Zap.
And Waverly going mad with power over lightning bolts. Just incorporating that into the one. Just the cackling.
Kind of want to nominate that one cuttlefish for just being a good boy.
he was such
He
a
was a
good
very good
boy. He was such a good boy. He tried so hard to kill that other cuttlefish. He just couldn't do it.
Okay, we got some posthumous cuttlefish awards.
Yeah, what ended up happening to that cuttlefish? Did we
Eventually, the
kill
charm
it
would
again?
break, and he would have needed to be put down. Unfortunately.
Yep.
I mean, you could have left him there.
It's a very strong chance that she just commanded him to stay there when they left.
Fair enough.
Like why would I?
So
I'm not that.
so
cruel.
somewhere in a dungeon, a week's journey back, a cuttlefish levels up.
That's true. He's now upgraded. He's moved into the big bubble room. He's got the crown.
He's like, now I need something to guard.
I kind of want to buy an NPC for the cuttlefish.
Oh my god, do it!
I mean, if you want to make the new king of the deep be a cuttlefish, sure, why not?
Might as well. I mean, we had a bubble going on. There was
I don't remember who said it, but I said one of them, the Made in China Dithril Hall.
Oh
God.
Mord,
Yes,
was
that was
was
good.
that Mord?
That was me.
That was, yeah.
Dithril Hall.
Honestly, I have a bunch from here, but I think just everyone for the acting out of the LARP within the RPG.
yes. Oh my god.
Dawn shouting Eldritch Blast, Valandra saying, I have Spirit Guardians up and twirling in a circle. Mord going, I'm getting really angry.
Yeah, I don't know that we could actually
Dawn-
hit higher levels of dorkdom right now.
Dawn for not playing the game and being. He's like, no, I'm just gonna actually do this right here.
God damn it, Dawn.
Like, what? I thought we were actually trying to do this.
No, but it's just getting out of the tree to like run around there with like caution tape would have taken like way too long and held everyone up. This was the easier way.
It's like, am I going to kill my friend? Maybe.
Nah, just disturb her a little with the tentacles like going places.
Places.
Wow, Don.
Well, that's the exact description of the
Yeah,
spell.
It's very creepy, and they apparently they're soft
take 2d6 acid damage as milky otherworldly tentacles rub against.
Yeah, it's definitely like a 13-year-old boy wrote that particular description. There's a few carryovers still in the
So
system.
it's just like, fucking nope. Gets out of there.
Valandra and Mord for wait, he's an owl.
Yes. Wait, he's an owl. I have that written down just
Wait,
like
what?
that.
What does that have to do with Ed? He's out of your reach. Waverly for
Who do I hit?
asking to pet the dragon in the middle of combat.
That was really cute. I liked Waverly's "Who do I hit?" question in the tree.
Well, it was an important question.
I am a large, semi-muscular man. I am a large,
Whoa!
semi-muscular man.
Oh, the NPCs have been leveled up.
I have more silver than I know what to do with. I could level up a fucking cuttlefish if I want.
That one we will never see again, but that's
So-
okay.
We don't have to see him again, but he could just like be in existence in Caseyverse doing
You just
something.
know that he's
Looks
there.
like Kira's got to bail on us.
Okay, Kira,
Okay.
thank you
Have a
for
good
hanging
night.
around. Have a great time at work. We'll catch you next or
night.
2 weeks out.
For having me.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, and Hang on, what was I
Kira
doing?
for this being her first ever D&D session. And
Yeah.
it's online.
And it had to be this one. This is a great one.
And she did a really good job for being a newbie. That's for sure. She's just like, yeah, let's do that. I will do that thing.
I know,
God.
like, starting at level 8 is going to be kind of rough, so we can help her out as that goes.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
See,
Waverly
the-
for wanting to be a great ape. Like, Waverly, do you want to be a great ape? Hell yes! And then it just didn't turn out the way she thought it would.
Not really. It was a little bit less exciting than anticipated.
But you did such a great job being stunned repeatedly.
All right. So hang on here. What am I doing? Giant crab people.
Taste like crap, talk like people.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I guess we've either eaten all the crab by now, or it's gone bad.
Well, we
So-
probably ate it, like, because we didn't take all the crap with us.
No, we definitely didn't get that much crab.
And there
We
were
were
several
hungry.
of us. We definitely ate that crap.
That crab is 100% eaten. No ifs, ands, or buts.
I just think that is a true adventure thing to do, where we kill a monster and then we go, "That's food. That's dinner. Let's do this."
Yep. Now we just need to make this monster hunter, and we're good.
And they have people with prestidigitation like, "I'll just get a little bit of water and we'll make it taste like butter." Here we go.
All right. So what is our giant cray/cuttlefish's name?
Oh gosh, I have to name it. Hang on.
Telaise would have named our good boy.
She named him Sandy Claus.
Ooh boy.
Kidnapping to Santa Claus.
Do cuttlefish have claws, or are they?
Cuttlefish are like they're
What?
related to they're cephalopods.
They're like octopuses.
He's actually a giant crayfish.
Yeah, he's a crayfish.
So he's technically a crayfish.
Ah,
Even though he's a cuddly crayfish, it doesn't make him a cuttlefish.
She named him Sandy Claus.
Yes.
Aww.
Hang on, we will include the joke. Sandy Claus, the cuttlefish. There we go. Sandy has been added to the others, and he has been upgraded a bit. And maybe we'll find out what he is up to at a later date.
He took over that dungeon. That's what he did.
Well, I mean, that dungeon
By process of elimination.
That dungeon is under the control of certain powerful beings, so he might be a new mini-boss in that dungeon. But that dungeon has
we didn't ever
ideas.
take the river that was floating through the
Nope.
air.
We were just like, do we have to do this? Nope. All right, we're out of here.
We out. Which is just fine.
We came for a very specific thing. Oh, look, there he is. There's Santa Claus.
There's Sandy Claus.
I just want you guys to know that Telaise would have spent the rest, like most of the rest of this battle, if we had gotten to do like the whole thing, just letting you guys fight. she's like, I have a whole minute of this. I'm just gonna let them wear each other down. I'm just gonna hang out behind these trees and not touch anything because Dawn is playing too rough.
I'm a little sad we didn't have time to continue this more because I was curious to see who was going to win.
Well,
I really wanted to see the rest of it.
We can always do these sorts of things on off nights, but it seemed like a good way to just sort of introduce and start looking at skills.
Does anyone want to come back? So is Casey the only one who can't make it next week? Do people want to come back and continue this?
Oh, if you guys want to keep it up.
I can absolutely make it next week. And as we're all just fighting each other.
Yeah. We
just
don't
have
necessarily need a DM for that.
Nope. You guys are good.
Yeah, I'd love to finish the fight exactly as we have it.
You got it.
Just to see, because it was a good time. We had a good time.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello?
Oh, Stream Eric. Eric has subscribed for his 8th month in a row. Thank you, Eric.
Wow, man.
Well done.
That's some dedication.
Yeah, I got a chance to play with Eric over at the 20 Sides. He got to put up with my goblin character.
Oh no.
But actually, Ash, you're gonna get to put up with one of my goblin characters too.
Am I?
Yeah, because in our Yulia campaign, the permanent character is a goblin gunslinger.
Gobslinger.
I was a gobslinger. His name is Rogue. I still haven't quite got the voice down for Rogue. He's got kind of a deep voice, which is hard to do with the goblins. But I'll figure it out.
I have no idea if that was at all intelligible.
Something about figuring it out.
I'll work that one out.
But yes, the goblins is very tricksy.
And there we go. So, let's see here. What else we got? We got Sandy Claus made. We got a bunch of sets in there. Make sure everybody gets their 200 bonuses each for those. We will start making sure we get our up to 2 votes in for each session and kind of carry it forward from there. Let me see if I skim my list here. Anything that jumps out at me that we forgot about. I think we got a bunch of them. Cool. Alright, so it is about 9:30. I will go ahead and pull the stream down. Night all.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.